Gary's flavor.
So Laura and Gary. And I just saw Reverend Robbins earlier today at the Berlin Mosque, so.
Okay. It's been hard, but I'm so tired.
Yeah.
Like the moved to Clinton, 7 years, sort of visiting.
Frankenstein. He's grown up in Clinton in the summertime.
Oh, but you were relatively new to the community.
This is my third year, yes.
I was here and
Yes, I have attended it just.
She goes, is that where she went? She was
Right. She's the key to that. Came to Madison. She's like, also,
Not as well versed, especially because I've been in school almost 15 years, so there's a generation that I don't know. But welcome.
thank you.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good Shabbos. Good Shabbos. Welcome. Brachim Alayim. Let's start by taking a nice deep Shabbat breath tonight. Let's just let ourselves be here. Allow ourselves to access a moment of peace. Feeling of love and community and that beauty of Shabbat. Let's allow some of that in. We're going to turn together to page 128. Ma yafeh hayom, how lovely today is. Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Ma'yafeh Hayom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Ma'yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom, Ma'yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. So, am I correct? Did anyone wind up sponsoring the Oneg for tonight? No? Well, then we have an opening for who would like to light the Shabbat candles. Do we have any volunteers?
I'm going to light them with my father's words.
Please come on up.
Or you can remember the place.
You don't have to. No, way, if there's any confusion about the page numbers, just a reminder that as I announce page numbers, we're following the ones in the brackets, if your book happens to have 2 different page numbers in the corners. So we're going to page 138 from the Chadodi, welcoming Shabbat even more into our sanctuary today. Let's turn now together to page 144 for the Chatzi Kaddish. Amen. But today, as we're aware of the horrific terrorist attack in New Zealand, and the way that we have mourned tragedies, the way our Muslim brothers and sisters have mourned, and our Christian brothers and sisters, so many of us live in fear. And we need reminders, every now and then, that we are all one. We're all one people. And so I just wanted to point out this reading because it's so beautiful. There is one who sings the song of his own life, finding everything within himself. There is one who leaves the circle of herself and sings the song of her people. There is one whose voice rings with the song of humanity, hoping for the highest perfection. And there is one who rises even higher, uniting with all creatures, with all worlds, filling the universe with song. Nivarech, let us bless. So tonight I hope we are uniting with all creatures, we are connecting with all of humanity and filling with song prayers of peace, prayers of consolation, and prayers of love. Page 140, page 150. Ahavat Torah, Beit Yisrael, Ahavata, Torah v'mitzvot, u'im mishpatim, otanu limadeta, al kein Adonai Eloheinu, v'shachbeinu u'kuneinu, nasiach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'b'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki ein chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, ve'orech yameinu, u'vahem neged yomam v'layla, yomam v'layla. V'yabachach esimenu yolamim, baruch atah Adonai, v'vamo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam. You may be seated. Page 154. ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, ושבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך, ובשוקך ובקמך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים ללבביכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Please read with me on the top of 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. And we read together on the top of 161. Please join me. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai haporei suchat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Page 162. Pray as if everything depended on God. Act as if everything depended on you. We turn to the tefillah, which begins on 164. Please rise.
Adonai, Lord of my
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbos again. And thank you for being here tonight. It's been a particularly busy few weeks here at CBSRZ. We've had so many incredible events and programs, and there's still more to come. And so, Andrew, Belinda, and I were even saying to each other, we don't even know what to expect tonight, because, people have been here a lot lately. So we are very excited you are all here, no matter the reason. If it's just you needed some Shabbat, if it's to mark a yard site, if it's for comfort for your soul, whatever brought you here tonight, I'm glad you're here. And thank you for helping us create this Kihila Kidosha, this holy community here tonight. We always take a moment to take this sense of holiness and to send it out beyond this space to those who are in pain, to those who need healing, who are seeking a return to wellness and wholeness and peacefulness. And so I hope you'll join me in sending healing prayers to Reagan Konecki, John D. Nicola, Nancy Schwamm, Miriam Swidler, Larry Mancini, Charles Sabat, Debbie Clymer, Burl Bellows, Carrie Bellows, Cindy Rishal, Dovie Ben-Mayer, Arthur Myers, Iris Clark, Stacy Reed, Nan Kraszewski, Fred Schaefer, Daphne Rosenberg, Heather Waters, Autumn Jade St. John, and Joyce Giuseppe. If you're praying for somebody tonight and you'd like to share a name out loud, you may do so.
Well, that's everything.
Judy Lambert.
Yishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'Imotenu Sarah Rivka Leah v'Rachel v'Yivarech v'Yirapeh et kol ha'cholim ha'ela. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel, bless and heal all those who are in pain, all those who are suffering pain of mind, of body, or of spirit, who are fighting illness, injury, suffering of any kind. We pray for that return to shleimut, to peacefulness, and to wholeness. Baruch atah Adonai rofeh hacholim. We praise you, God, who cares about the sick. And let's say together, Amen. Let's turn to page 371 and join in Yishaberach. I also share with you a poem, a prayer that is now called Prayer After Racist Violence Against Houses of Worship by Alden Salehi, an incredible Jewish liturgist and poet. The reason I tell you that's what it's now called is because he originally wrote it in 2014 for the Yazidi people. And there's a note here that now, and this is the saddest part, there's just a blank line that you fill in for the latest attack. And so tonight, we are praying for the 49 souls killed during prayer in Christchurch, New Zealand. For all those who are in mourning, for all those who survived it, but I had to live for anyone in our world right now who is in fear of hatred, of intolerance, of prejudice. Oh, people of conscience, cry out. Cry out against arrogance. Cry out against hatred and anger. Cry out against violence and oppression. For God requires us to stand in the name of justice and freedom. For God requires us to oppose terror, to muster our power and energy against racist aggression, and to protect all houses of prayer. Oh God, we implore you, look down upon the suffering perpetrated against churches, mosques, and synagogues, against houses of worship in so many lands, by the hand of wickedness, by the hand of malevolence, by the hand of ignorance and sin. Today, we remember with sadness the attacks on 2 mosques in New Zealand and the loss of precious life. With your gentle and loving hand, God of shelter, unite all your children under your canopy of hope and love. Bring the light of salvation and healing to the 4 corners of the earth. And we also on Shabbat take a deep breath and we appreciate with gratitude when we heal, when we survive, when we escape danger, when we recover from illness or injury or an operation, when we have loved ones or even ourselves, when we've traveled far away and we've come back home safely. And that's when we bench gomel, as it's called, or we recite birkat hagomel. And so on behalf of all those in our midst, in our families, in our lives, who have experienced those gifts, which we never take for granted, we praise you, God, who allows good things to happen in the world around us. And let us sing together. Amen. And we always celebrate smachot, simchas, happy occasions. Does anybody have a birthday, anniversary, something going on in your life you want to share? Yes.
March 13th.
Oh, happy birthday! Yom Haletzah. Say again?
39 years old.
Of course. His name is Jack. His name is Jack. Yom Haletzah. Many, many more in good health and joy. And if you'd like, I have tchotchkes I usually give to little kids. Maybe a little Rubik's Cube or something for you. Yeah. Something good for it. So happy birthday. Who else has something you're celebrating? Yes, Steve.
My mother completed a round of radiation therapy and seems to manage quite well.
Thank God. Thank God. Please send along our prayers and our gratitude and hope for her continuing. It's okay. If everything else is kind of quiet, not too bad. You don't blame. It's all right. Good. But thank you for sharing these sweet things with us as well. Tonight, our Shabbat actually has a special name. Anybody know what it is? Ricky probably know. No? Oh, what?
Almost Purim.
It is almost Purim, and it is related to that. Yes, exactly. So you get points for that. That's awesome. So tonight's Shabbat is called Shabbat Zachor. And Zachor is the Shabbat which immediately precedes Purim. And it is the Shabbat of remembering. Okay, like Yizkor, it's the same root word. So Shabbat Zachor is the Shabbat of remembering. And the question is, what are we supposed to be remembering? Interestingly, we're on the Shabbat, we're asked to return to a text that tells us about Amalek. Does that ring a bell who Amalek is? Anybody want to remind us about Amalek?
Amalek is Moose Scouting, that big Yankee, that big non-Jewish Yankee that always hit home runs at Kinsey Park.
The ultimate enemy.
The ultimate enemy. And he was an enormous man. He came in with that big, thundering, thick stick of hickory and scared the crap out of all of us little Jewish boys on the south side.
And sweet, innocent, misty heart.
And sweet, innocent, innocent. That was on.
That was on. What else do you know about Amalek?
Our eternal enemy.
Our eternal enemy.
Blue scum.
So we have this fascinating figure, this people in the Torah called Amalek, and they are described as our eternal enemy. That no matter where we go, there's always going to be Amalek behind us, pursuing us. What makes Amalek so bad, according to the Torah, is that they don't fight fair. It's one thing to have conflict or to even enter into war with somebody, which we do in the Torah plenty of times. We have done in our history plenty of times. What makes Amalek different is that they attack from behind, and they go after our weakest. They go after the children, the sick, the elderly. They don't fight fair. They're just out to hurt. So the Torah tells us to remember not to forget Amalek. Remember not to forget Amalek. But we're supposed to get to such a point where we wipe out Amalek and we blot out their memory. And that's what we're told to do. So this is a Shabbat of remembering that people is always going to be there. Why link it to Purim? Is that as we have this concept that Amalek will always be there, Haman is actually linked to Amalek. And so Haman is considered in that line of Amalek one of our enemies who is once again pursuing us. As a sidebar, when I lived in Manhattan, there was a construction company that always put up signs near apartment buildings. Maybe you've seen these. And the name of the company is A.Malek. And so I remember taking a picture going, remember Amalek, they're here in Manhattan. But okay, that's not here. So, Amalek, they're there in Manhattan. Okay. Hopefully doing good business. But so, there's this people. And how do we not despair reading about that? Learning about this people that's going to always be out to get us. That's always going to be behind us, ready to wipe us out. And I was thinking about this today when I went to the Berlin Mosque. Reza Mansour reached out to me earlier this morning and said, would you please come to our afternoon prayer and offer some words of solidarity and comfort. And as I was thinking about what to share, I was thinking about Shabbat Zachor. Because I think the interesting antidote, perhaps, to this, the impending doom of Amalek, is the story of Esther. In the story of Esther, of course, we have human beings rising up bravely, revealing themselves as the true versions of themselves, and saving their people. And maybe that's what the message is that we are the ones who have to bring about this time of peace, this time of unity and of solidarity. Esther did it for us way back when, against Haman, who had, of course, decided to exterminate all the Jews. And she appealed to the king, who was, the king of a foreign land, of Shushan, and they together worked to save the Jews. So what is our responsibility? What can we do right now at a time where we are faced with attacks, with fear, with this sense that Amalek is right behind us, whatever that Amalek, whatever form Amalek takes? And I hope the bravery of Esther, who didn't remain hidden, she didn't hide. Right? Her name, the root word of her name is to hide, a secret. She didn't hide. Instead, she said, I'm a Jew, and I'm here to save my people. And I hope that we can all stand up in pride, reach out to each other, reach out to other faith traditions, to other cultures, to any other. And just as brave as Esther was, we can be brave and build bridges instead of hiding, instead of being afraid, instead of living in fear of Amalek. Let's work together to instead truly repair the world. To repair the brokenness, to reconnect, to allow peace, shalom, to come down upon us, upon all Israel, and upon all the world. So I hope you'll recommit tonight that as we're remembering, we're also remembering Esther, we're celebrating Esther, and we're going to do our part as well. Keni Hiratson, Ministry President. Amen. So speaking of Purim, tomorrow night is our congregation's Purim celebration. Beginning at 5 o'clock p.m. We have carnival for kids, we have drinks and munchies for adults, and there's going to be dinner served. There's no fee for the carnival. There is a suggested donation for the food because the money goes towards our youth group activities. Following the carnival, there will be a costume contest with prizes given out to everybody, but there's a real best costume prize both for adults and for best child costume. Then we come back in here, sing some funny songs, we do a funny Megillah reading, we hear a little bit of the actual Megillah, and then we've got our spiel, which will be terrific. The theme is 80s this year. You don't have to dress up in the 80s, but we will totally be dressed up as 80s. It'll be amazing. So you are all invited tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. And it'll be a lot of fun. Bring your friends. I think it's something we all need right now. We all of our religions have this kind of carnival night. This is ours. Come, let loose, enjoy. Next Tuesday at 10 a.m. We continue my coffee hours with Rabbi Bellows. I've been meeting at Simon's here in Chester at 10 a.m. each Tuesday, and I'd love to have you come join me. It's been really lovely each time, a different group each time. Often the people who come don't know each other, so we're going to just enjoy some cappuccino and chat. Everyone's always invited, open to everybody. Next Friday night is something new we're trying, and you may have seen some of the information about this. We're doing a candlelight Shabbat. Next Friday night, 7:30 p.m. We're going to turn down the lights. We're inviting everybody to bring their candlesticks. We're going to surround the room with light, sit in the center, and sing and pray some guided meditation, and just really allow ourselves to relax into Shabbat together. So I hope you'll come and enjoy this new experiment we're trying next Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Sunday, March 24th, 2 p.m. is our Music and More concert, our ukulele workshop and concert, ukulele. I'm saying it correctly. And apparently the guests we have, if you've not heard of them, within the ukulele world, they are enormous celebrities. And we have people who are coming from all over to see them. They're so excited. So you too can come and learn with them and then enjoy a concert. Tickets are still available online on our website, and there will be tickets available at the door as well. Anybody else have any announcements they'd like to share? Anything we've left out? No? Okay. Well, let's turn to our concluding prayers, beginning with Aleinu on page 586. In the middle of the page, please rise.
Shalom,
Page 592. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something, something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands, by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. Page 598. In just a moment, if you hear the name of a friend or family member on our yard site list, and if you're comfortable doing so, you're invited to rise when you hear his or her name. This allows us to offer you comfort, to mark your loss, and then we will all rise to join you a few moments later for the recitation of the mourner's Kaddish. This Shabbat, we mark the yard sites for Sarah Bernstein, Ida Brightman, Joseph Friend, Aaron Gilman, George Palmer, Helen Francis Rosenkrantz, Bernard Shankman, Sid Slater, Jack Swidler, and Barry White. Zichronam Livracha. If anyone else is marking a Shiva Shloshim or yard site of a family member or friend who would like to share a name out loud, you're invited to do so.
Don Sandberg.
May all of their memories always be a blessing to those who knew and loved them. Together now, we all rise. We join the words of Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shnei Rabbah, ve'olamad yivarach chirutei ve'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei t'chol beit Yisrael, v'agalah v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shnei Rabbah v'barach le'olam l'almei almaya, Yisbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shnei t'kudashah b'richu, Le'elam mikol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'aminan v'yama v'imru amen. Yehei shlam rabba v'yishmaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'ramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Yikadal Please be seated. We will conclude on
on page 673. We got a little kind of preview taste of Purim with Chag Purim. Remember oldie but good? Okay, maybe not. All right. Chag Purim,
Chag Purim, Chag Gadol HaYehudim, Masechot Rashenim, Zmirot Rikudim, Avad Risha Rash Rash Rash, Avad Risha Rash Rash Rash, Avad Risha Rash Rash Rash, Parashanim, Chag Purim, Chag Purim, Chag Gadol HaYehudim, Masechot Rashanim, Zmirot Rikudim, Avad Risha Rash Rash Rash, Avad Risha Rash Rash Rash, Avad Risha Rash Rash Rash, Parashanim.
More of this great stuff tomorrow.
Masechot, Rashanim, Zmirot, Rikudim, it's all going to be here tomorrow night.
Chag HaYehudim.
Yeah, it is, the Jewish holiday. May you all go forth in peace and return in peace, and I wish you a Shabbat filled with peace. Shabbat Shalom.